Hello everyone, this is Cholera bringing you a map preview of Chupung-Ryeong, the Autumn Wind, a two-player map being played this season for the OSL and the Pro League. These are the two spawn locations, of course, the upper right and the lower left, and I'm going to be giving you a standard map preview separate of any games, as you guys recommended, and then I'm going to be giving you a special 3D preview of this map brought to you by someone from sc2gg.com. Very, very interesting, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. In any case, this is a two-player map, like I said, on the jungle tile set, two spawn locations, upper right and lower left. You have a natural expansion underneath a ramp. This natural expansion has two exits, actually, one forward and one to the side, which leads to one of the two ridges on the side of the map. I think the gap between the side exit is very small, though, so a Protoss or a Terran could just build a couple pylons or two buildings there and be able to seal themselves in so that effectively it becomes a one choke point natural expansion, which is actually quite easy to hold for Terran because there's these siegeable positions and it is a quite narrow funnel here. I think there's basically two important aspects of the map to point out. First off, there are these two hills that have large ramps leading towards them in the middle of the map, one for each player. And I think if you can get to your opponent's hill, you can do great damage to them. Say you're a Terran fighting a Zerg and you're Terran and Zerg is over here. If you can somehow, as a Terran player, get your forces, get your tanks on this ridge, basically you'll be able to pin the Zerg into his natural. He'll only be able to get out through these side corridors, and then you can take strike forces out and take out the Zerg's expansions anywhere around the map that you choose to. So I think this hill is very, very important, and I think this is part of the reason why so far in Terran vs. Zerg it is 3-0 for Terran. But I actually just played a Zerg vs. Terran on this map versus Zizu, one of the members of sc2g.com who's playing off-race as Terran. I actually won because I was able to get my lurkers overlooking. I was here and he was there. I was able to get my lurkers overlooking his natural expansion for a long time. That basically it took him a long time to bust out of it, even with tanks and science vessels, because this high ground is so powerful. If you can keep Scourge up here and try to kill the science vessels as they gain vision for their siege tanks, your lurkers can survive there for quite a long time, much longer than they would on a more open map like Python. Anyway, that's one of the two important features of the map. I think the second important feature are these long ridges on the sides of the map. And actually, I was looking at it. It reminds me a little of the American Civil War battle, Gettysburg, Seminary Ridge and Cemetery Ridge, where one of well, basically, the Confederates were on Seminary Ridge and the Union was on Cemetery Ridge. But somewhat similar to that, in that these two ridges both offer some degree of protection and also a lot of avenues of flanking. Say you're playing in the Terran versus Protoss lineup, and the Terran player tries to put siege tanks in the middle of the map, and try to hold the middle and perhaps push the Protoss's ramp. The Protoss has a lot of options here to go and flank the Terran on one or both of these ridges. There are three exits from these ridges to the center of the map, and of course the fourth one is the main ramp. And on the other side, of course, there are just the same number of exits. And this makes this central area very difficult to hold, I think, for a Terran. If a Terran wants to attack, for example, one of the Protoss's expansions, he'll also have to bring a lot of materiel over there, a lot of tanks and vultures. Unlike in, really, it's different from Terran versus Zerg, where the Terran can just bring a small strike force. Against Protoss, you really have to bring the tanks in. And bringing the tanks in is a slow, cumbersome process on these narrow ridges, which leaves you wide open for flank attacks with speed lots on the side from the Protoss, which is something we see best do very often. So, and actually, the Protoss versus Terran matchup, Protoss is favored. It's 7-4 Protoss versus Terran. Finally, Protoss versus Zerg, I think is pretty fair. We've only seen two games, and it's 1-1. And I think it's pretty balanced for Protoss versus Zerg. Zerg can really pick up a third gas fairly safely by picking up the upper left expansion. Of course, it's natural expansion, but the Protoss can also shut that down fairly easily by going around the left side. So it really is a balance. I think Protoss versus Zerg will come down to fights over the gas resources, over the gas expansions, of which there are four other than the four other than the two natural expansions, and I think it's mainly a fight for that. Although we could see some interesting flanks through the middle or frontal attacks. Although I think a frontal attack is more suicidal in Protoss versus Zerg, especially for the Zerg player. In any case, though, let's move on to the 3D rendering of this map. Hope you guys enjoyed so far what I have. And this is a 3D rendering of Chupung-Ryeong done by Frozen Pulse. Thank you so much, a member of SC2GG.com. And for the first time that I've seen, you can now play around with this map and see very clearly how important elevation is on a map like this. Just looking in here, you can see from one spawn location to another, you really have to go up and down several ridges to get to the opponent's base. And also, there's so many opportunities for flanking from those two ridges. Say if you're a Protoss against a Zerg player or a Protoss against a Terran player, you can really cut the Terran player off through many different means. And really, this is very interesting. You can really just play around with this map and see what StarCraft would look like if it was in 3D, which, will actually happen when StarCraft 2 comes out. Also, by removing the doodads, it definitely allows you to see the map more clearly for all the important features, which are, of course, the on-ramps and off-ramps. So hope you guys enjoyed this map preview. This has been interesting for me to do, and I'm going to finish this off with the Zergling's first-person viewpoint from one location walking straight to the other spawn location. And here we go. This is my first-person view. If I were a Zergling, what I would see if I started off in my main base, and I think I start off as a slow Zergling. I don't have metabolic boost yet because I'm not traveling that fast, but here I go down my ramp into my natural expansion, and it looks like I just got boost because I'm running crazy now, jumping over the middle. I think I just dodged a couple of Marines there, and now entering my opponent's natural expansion. I'm gonna go and pick off a couple of SCVs right here, and then I'm just gonna, whoops, I guess I got picked up by an Overlord, and I got dropped into the Terran's main base, where I'm gonna proceed to kill the command center single-handedly. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed this map preview. Once again, this is Cholera, and thank you Frozen Pulse again, and let me know what you guys thought of this preview and these 3D animations. Thanks for watching.